Alright, now let's move on to the story. I also give a lot of credit to the writers. The writers did an amazing job. It was amazing. There were backstories to every character you come into contact with in the game that you can talk to. For your teammates, there's a backstory for every one of them, and they all affect you as well, because you have to do something that has to do with their backstory that will gain their trust for you. Legion has a very intense backstory. And also another thing, I said that the storyline was complicated earlier, I think. But for those of you who just started playing Mass Effect 2 and didn't go with Mass Effect 1 like I did, your interactions with your teammates and the other characters define everything pretty much that happened in the first one. They state everything pretty much. There's also how the story progresses. There is surprises everywhere. The ending was a complete surprise to me. It was totally out of the blue. And of course the story is also affected by the choices you make and how you talk to people and what you do. Another thing about the gameplay is that when you're having a discussion with somebody, sometimes you're given the option to interrupt the discussion by pressing the right trigger or the left trigger, and there's a little thing in the corner of the screen. There's one right here for when you press the left trigger, which will give you a paragon interruption, which means you'll do something nice. And there's one right here on the right side of the screen where you're given a renegade choice in which you will do something cruel or something like that. There's this one scene, I hate to give this away, but it's the best example I can give. There's this one scene where you're doing Thane's Paragon mission, which is the mission that you have to do to gain his trust. And his son was hired to assassinate this one guy by this other guy. And so you capture the guy who hired him, and you're given the choice of being good cop or bad cop. I ended up going with bad cop. That was a good choice for me. And you could do a whole bunch of stuff. Pretty much every stage of the discussion, you're given the choice to punch the guy in the face or in the gut. Yeah. So they give you a whole lot of choices, and there are also points in which two of your teammates will begin to fight, and you're actually given three choices. You can scold one, scold the other, or scold both. I've always scolded one person based off of what I wanted to happen, because, I could predict what would have happened at those parts, because to me it was easy to predict, but the reactions you get are close to unpredictable with the people who aren't on your team. Once you've gotten used to the people who are on your team, you can kind of predict how they're going to react to something, like what happens in real life. This game is really, really realistic in that way. There are times where the discussions will jeopardize the mission, like in every role-playing game shooter thing. I mean, you just can't not have that in a role-playing entertainment thing. And you also get to see the devotion that they put into this game, because there are so many lines that they have to say, so many people were involved in it, and it gives you a real good idea of how devoted they were for making something entertaining